Welcome back to the BNB. Today we'll be discussing about my previous favorite stock on the stock market. And why am I saying it's my previous stock? Because I made a lot of money on it and I sold it. Then I got into another stock, and unfortunately, or fortunately for me, that stock didn't do as well as this one. But it was my favorite stock, and I really loved it. I was preaching it to everyone I knew, because I really believed in the potential. And if they had invested in this stock when I was saying it and sold it when I sold it, they would have made good money. Now, right now, I'm seeing this stock back at IPO price, under IPO price, and I want to give up my take. And if I'm going to be buying it again and reclaiming its spot as my favorite stock on the stock market. Just a history lesson or just an understanding of the stock. This stock, when I bought it in 2020, was at around 18, 19, even maybe $20, $20 USD. It went up all the way to $83.11. Just remember, it IPO'd in 2017 at around $15. That to me is crazy to see it back at those prices after 5 years of being on the stock market. Snapchat, remember, this stock is the company, like the application Snapchat, and it's one of the most popular applications in the world after Instagram. What's after the Meta platform applications, or maybe Amazon and all these big techs? Snapchat is next, and this is how it's performing after 5 years. To me, this is crazy. If you compare its 5 year performance with Google stock, as you can see here, up double, up around 135% in the past 5 years. And what's Snapchat doing? Down 24%. What's happening? This is not good. This is really disrespectful to the stock itself and the company itself. But why did it happen? Because I've been following the stock for a while, so I have a better understanding of why it's down. So when I bought it at 20, and the pandemic lows. You see here, the stock fell to 12. I didn't buy it then. It went up, and I was seeing it going up. So I decided to do some research on it, and I did some research, and I felt like this stock was doing well, really incredible. It had the potential. It was growing. They were growing their daily active users. They were growing their revenue. They were doing everything well. So I decided, yes, for me, it's a good time to buy it. I did not put enough money as I would have wanted, but I did put good money into it, and the stock started moving fast, high and high and high. I couldn't grow my position, so what happened is the stock went to 20, and it started being less volatile. So it stayed in the 20s for a while here. This, like, it might seem like it's a small time frame, but it was like a couple of months, and then it just roared up. As you can see here, this big spike happened when the earning calls released for Snapchat, and they were extremely good. They hit profitability. I think the EPS was 1 cent positive, and that made investors go crazy because everybody thought Snapchat was going under. This was never going to be profitable, and the moment they went profitable, growing their daily active users, that stock started moving mad. And I saw the hype that transpired from it, and it made me happy, and I was really like reassured that I did the good decision of buying this stock. And then it went up and then went up. I unfortunately sold it at around like 56 USD. For me, it was going too high, too quick, and I was understanding why it was, but to me the valuation did not make any sense, so I had to sell that stock at that price point. But selling it, I instantly regretted my decision of selling that stock at that price point, because it went up all the way up to 83. I remember seeing that stock at 83. That was 4x my money, even maybe 4.5x my money, and to me that was crazy. Fortunately, I 3x my money. I tripled my money, and I was really happy with my decision. But never would I ever had believed or thought that stock would be one day at $13. Never. So what happened afterwards is they had another earning reports, which was exceptional too. It was like they hit every analyst, every prediction. I don't know if they beat some of them, but they were hitting everything, and everybody was happy. And then unfortunately we saw what happened with the inflation, and everything started coming in, so the stock started falling and falling. But what really made the stock fall was like this huge spike, as you can see here. That was due to them reporting bad earnings, and they weren't like normal bad, or just they were really bad, and that made investors lose lose confidence in the company, and that meant investors started selling the stock in heavy bunches. And why did it happen? It was because of Apple policy changing privacy. The privacy policy changes hurt Meta, and they hurt Snapchat even worse. So that meant it was because it's a problem that seems like it cannot be resolved by Snapchat. So investors started like dumping the stock as much as they could, and as you can see, the stock is back down to its IPO price. But the CBO reassured investors, saying that yes, they will be, they're fixing on target ad targeting, and it will take some time, unfortunately. But investors obviously don't believe. If they did believe that the stock wouldn't be down this much, but they don't believe the Snapchat management for some reason. They don't think that they can solve this issue at this time frame or even later on. We know that Wall Street has a time frame or like forward thinking of 12 to 18 months. So at least for now, Wall Street thinks that in 12 to 18 months, Snapchat will not be able to resolve this issue, this ad targeting issue that Apple has put in onto them. Like, it's not their fault. It's just unfortunate that inflation, war risks, and all these things happen in a set amount of time, and this proceeded so well, one after the other, which led to Snapchat stocks losing so much value in so less time. Now let's look into how Snapchat has been performing for the past 5 years. In 2016, that's 6 years ago, before the IPO, their revenue was $400 million. To be exact, it was $414 million, and now 5 years later, they 10xed the revenue. So now their revenue is $4.2 billion, and their daily active users today right now is at 332 million DAUs, which is exceptionally well. I believe Facebook has 2 billion, which is the biggest platform. But is the stock expensive for its current valuation? Is the valuation expensive? I mean, yes, it is. It's the price to sales is at 5. S&P average is at 2.73, and those are profitable companies. So this is not even a profitable company, but they're growth oriented, so they can maybe command a better price to sales. But still, it is an overvalued company because its price to sales is higher than Meta. It's higher than Pinterest. They really need to step up their game for the next 2 months. Would I be buying the stock? Yes, I will be buying it. Not right now. I'm gonna look at the next earning calls. I'm gonna analyze it, and I'm gonna look into what the CEO or whatever, how their numbers are moving, what the CEO has to say about the company. Is he confident or whatnot? These are all the things I'm gonna be looking into, and if I think that's a good stock to buy, I will. And if you guys want me to make a video then when the earning calls are released and give my opinion on the stock, don't hesitate, put it in the comments below. And also, if you liked it, you know what to do. Put a thumbs up and click the red button.